I don't know. Flying around. What was that monarch doing before on the blossoms?
It was getting its little tongue and sucking it up.
Sucking out what?
Milkweed.
Milkweed what?
Flowers. Pollen. Nectar.
Nectar, yeah, it's the juice that's down in the way bottom of the little flower cup.
Let me try.
So the juice is way at the bottom. Yeah,
I'm gonna try to suck on it.
Try. Your tongue is way too big. What kind of adaptation does the butterfly have to make it get the nectar way down at the bottom of the flower?
I don't know. Wait, what did you say?
What kind of adaptation does the butterfly have to get the nectar from the bottom of the flower?
What do you mean?
How has its tongue grown over time to help it get nectar? There it is over there again.
I don't know.
It's kind of turned into a real long tongue to get the nectar, right?
Mhm. So it goes deep down in the flower and it sucks out all the nectar.
Yeah.
Squish. Where did the beautiful butterfly go? Oh, there it is. Over there, fluttering around.
I know. I wonder what else it's going to find. All right, we're going to look for monarch eggs on the underside of the leaf. We just saw some.
Oh, right here.
Where? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting to focus on. Let's see.
Wait.
Yep, I got it. There they are. They look like two kind of oval. Yeah, you can get them in the sun. See that? Good job. And those will hatch and little baby monarch caterpillars.
And there's the monarch over there.
Oh, flitting around, looking for more. That's more milkweed over there. We're getting our garden planted up. There it is. All right, since we were talking about monarchs, since one flew by, I was going to ask you if you remember from school last year why monarchs are important.
They're good for the garden.
How come?
Because they pollinate.
Yeah, very good. They pollinate.
I just guessed.
Why are they special kind of butterflies? Do you remember why?
Because some of the other butterflies are kind of bad for the garden.
The moths, the little cabbage moths, the white fleety ones.
Fleety.
They lay their eggs on the broccoli and the kale and stuff, and then the caterpillars eat it all up. You're right. I was kind of thinking about how they're endangered. Do you remember that about the monarchs?
They are endangered?
Yeah, they're endangered. They fly really far.
Oh yeah, I heard that bees are also.
Yeah, and bees too. Do you remember about what makes monarchs special, about how far they fly? Do you know that word when they fly really far?
Hibernate?
Close.
No, migrate.
Migrate, yes. Yeah.
I read a book about butterflies in 2nd grade about migrating.
Yeah, so they migrate. So these monarchs, there's two big groups of them. Some of them migrate from Mexico all the way up to Canada, and some of them migrate along the west coast and down to Mexico.
40,000 miles, I think.
Is that how long? I don't know how many miles.
I read it in a book, or 30.
Yeah, a real long time. And sometimes it takes generations and generations, meaning one little butterfly doesn't live that long, so it has to stop along the way.
I'm uncomfortable.
It lays some eggs, then they hatch, and then they continue the journey.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere, and it's fascinating. Scientists want to keep these monarchs around because they're like, how does that work? How do they know where to migrate? And they go to a specific tree in the Mexican forest, in the mountains. And the problem is, a lot of the villages in Mexico maybe don't realize that these are these special trees, and they're chopping them down for wood for their fires because they live near the forest. And so they're chopping down these special trees that these butterflies are trying to go to, and they can't find the tree. So they're trying to teach people how not to cut down these trees. That's one thing we can do to help monarchs. Another thing we can do is plant a lot of milkweed so that they have food along the way to keep migrating, right? If they can't find the food, they won't be able to lay the eggs, have the babies, and the babies keep traveling. And a lot of the milkweed gets mowed over because they're building lots of buildings and houses and things like that, right, Charlotte? It's called urbanization. And what's another reason why monarchs might be dying? Do you know?
Because, did you already say the Mexicans are cutting down trees? Okay. They're getting extinct because they're taking too much flowers?
They're spraying stuff on flowers sometimes, and when the monarchs are eating the pesticides, it poisons them, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. And then another thing they're not sure about, and they're trying to research it, is all of the climate change, right? The weather's changing a lot, so they think that might have an effect. So things we can do: plant milkweeds, research it, get involved, and even you could donate to a monarch saving society.
And there are books about weather and climate, and I think it tells them about weather. I mean, butterflies.
Yeah, and we can even register our garden as a monarch way station, they call it, and we can put a sign here, and then we're an actual, we're on the map of where monarchs can stop and go. Not that they know, but
What's this for?
it helps with conservation. It's just a handle. All right, so there you go. Monarch butterflies, this is the season. Plant some milkweed and even save the seeds. Leave those milkweeds in there until their seed pods dry up, and you'll see all the floaty seeds with the cottony stuff on them.
And monarchs put their butts under the flower to make babies.
They do. They tuck their little abdomen bottom. I don't know all the anatomy very well, but they lay their eggs up under the leaves. Why do you think they lay their eggs under the leaves?
Because they don't want any bunnies to eat them.
Bunnies.
Or caterpillars.
Other bugs. What if it's really hot and the sun's beating down on the top of the leaf? It would maybe help if they were under the leaf in the shade, right? So they don't cook.
And they don't die.
Right.
Yeah, we found a frog in our pool, and I don't think this has to do with the thing, but we thought it got cooked by the chlorine in our pool.
We have a saltwater pool, so I don't think salt water is good for it. Yeah, we weren't sure. It does have chlorine in it too, a little. What else? Oh, monarchs are really yucky for birds to eat. Did you know about this?
Why?
They taste awful. Birds try to peck them out of the sky and eat them, and they go blech, and they even throw up a little if they try to eat a monarch. Why do you think Mother Nature made monarchs yucky? Why do you think that has been an adaptation, change over time?
Because they went to, because it's basically like poisoning flowers so that the bunnies can't eat it, or like any gophers.
For protection, yeah. They adapted to taste bad so that birds don't eat them. So that way they can stay alive, lay eggs, make caterpillars, which turn into butterflies. Yeah. Do you remember all the stages of a butterfly?
The cycle?
The life cycle.
It is eggs, a pupa, a larva,
Yeah.
a caterpillar, right?
The larva is the caterpillar,
Oh.
yeah. And then the caterpillar gets bigger.
And bigger and bigger, and then it's a butterfly.
Yeah, adult, and then it's a butterfly. It goes through what sort of stage is that?
Migrate stage.
Migrate stage?
I don't know.
When it goes through a metamorphosis.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it makes it chrysalis,
Uh-huh.
which is like a cocoon. Yeah, so hopefully we'll find some in our yard that we could watch them change into a butterfly, huh?
Yeah.
Would that be fun?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, very good. I think, let's see if we did that right. So egg, did you say larva first?
A pupa.
Okay, so I think it goes larva first after the egg. So the egg hatches and there's a little caterpillar, and that's a larva, right? And then the larva goes to pupate. That's the stage when it becomes a chrysalis. That's the changing stage, right? And then it hatches and turns into a butterfly. Yeah, so all these fun things we're learning in the garden. Yay! I hope someone
And
can learn with us too.
here's a tip.
Okay,
If you garden, you'll get a lot of dirt in your nails.
yes, let's show our nails. Yeah, super dirty.
Except some of this is from the green stuff on there.
It happens, but we can wash them, huh? All right, bye everybody. Whoever might see this, say bye, Charlotte.
Bye, Charlotte. I mean...